If you have been eating good but not losing weight, this is the conversation for you. I have been on a continual journey for more than a decade to figure out what it is that I need to be eating, what it is that I need to be doing in order to release the weight. And instead of losing weight continually so that I would get back to where I wanted to be, I never had continual progress. I didn't have steady progress. I might drop for a period of time, but then the weight came back. And that up and down process has not been good for me. It's not been good for my body because my body has over time just continued to go up and up and up in weight instead of going down in the direction that I wanted. And as I'm also aging, as all this is happening, my body has gotten weaker and just less efficient, less energy, more struggle. And if you've watched my journey, you know that I've been sharing bits and pieces of this in different videos, and that the reason I started rebounding in the first place was because I was committed to losing the weight, that I was going to do something to figure it out. And one of the things I wanted to do was add in a better form of cardio that didn't feel as intense on my body, because since my body's heavier, it's carrying extra weight. There are certain things that just feel like too much impact on my joints. And so when I was looking at rebounding, I thought that that could be a winner for me. Thankfully, it has. And being able to rebound has been amazing for me. But I know that a big part of my journey is also in dialing in, like really getting the nutrition that I can understand what I'm eating, I can understand why I'm eating it, and I can do it in the proper amounts and the proper order. And that's what I want to unpack with you in today's conversation. So first of all, if you're new here, just let me introduce myself. I'm Steph, I'm 45, and I am on a journey to release over 100 pounds. I use the Rebounder in a very gentle format. I'm kind to my body. I listen to my body. And that is a big shift in the way that I have treated myself in the past, because I have beaten myself up for not being able to figure it out, not being able to let go of that weight, and just felt broken. So if you have felt like, oh, why doesn't this work? Nothing works. What's wrong with me? Why won't my body ever lose weight? If you've saying these kind of things, that's been me. So I understand and I resonate with that. And I want to empower you that if you're looking for a kinder way to approach taking care of your body, then you might be interested in the kinds of things that I talk about while I'm bouncing here on the Rebounder, here on this channel. Just consider what it would be to think about, instead of I'm eating to lose weight and I'm going to eat these things to lose the weight, all those kind of thoughts. And instead start shifting to thinking about, what can I eat to improve my well-being? What can I do to support my body? What can I eat today in the right amounts to give my body the fuel and the nutrition and the support that it needs, so that I can have an awesome day, that I can thrive? Like, let's put that out there. And that shift in approach, that's not just mindset, that's not just thinking, but that's an actual action approach, for me, has been so much healthier. And here's how it works for me. Let me give you an example. In the past, I have eaten certain amounts, certain calorie ranges. I've counted the points. I have tracked things. And so all that is about amounts, yes, and limitations. And over the years, I've done so many forms of eating that are not pleasurable. Now, why does that matter? Because we are designed to eat. God made us that, for whatever reason, he saw fit that we need to stop and eat on a daily basis. And there are times where I'm like, oh, I have to stop and go eat something, or oh, I have to eat and I don't know what to plan. Like, and that is a real feeling. It is frustration. It is angst. It is like, why do I have to keep eating all the time? And especially when I'm already in that mood of being, and then I also have to make food for other people, and everybody looks to me as in, what's for dinner? What's for this? What's like all the things, the pressure there, like to eat, it can be burdensome. So I get it. So what we want to do is we want to put out a good plan in which, if we know we have to eat, which we do, we all do to stay alive, then how can we make this a process in which we see value in it, that we appreciate what we're doing, and that we are taking the time to make conscious, healthy choices that are going to support us? And we're doing things in a way that's not just about restriction or limitation or taking away, but instead, what can we adjust, modify, or what can we add in order so that we can feel better? And a part of feeling better to me is releasing the weight. So it's not like I'm saying I'm not losing weight. No, I am still on that mission. I'm just changing my approach because I've done really restrictive and I've done mean and I've done like, Stephanie, only eat these raw vegetables and nothing else. I've been painfully strict and harsh to myself. And even though the scale will change for a period of time, it doesn't last. And I'm at a stage in my life now in my mid 40s where I know that if I beat myself up and I treat my body in that way, my body is not going to respond well. I've been tracking my metabolism, my weight, my fat, my water, my all these different things. But I'm using this body scanner in order to actually track the data that my body is telling me. And that is teaching me that when I modify what I'm eating, here's how it impacts my body. The biggest insight I've had is that there's so much truth in that we become what we eat. And the way that we eat, the way that we hydrate, and the way that we fuel our bodies really does have a lasting impact in the results that we get. So as I started to make adjustments in the way that I was eating, if you want to call it your diet, whatever you want to label that, but the way that I'm eating has changed how I'm feeling, has changed my body's fuel source, and has changed the results that I'm getting. And I had to stay the course, meaning I couldn't just look at it for a week or two or a month and say it's not working and give up. I've really stayed the course. So for me, this has been over 4 months of really modifying, adjusting, tweaking, and noticing, paying attention, monitoring the results that I'm getting. And I'm stressing all of this because now I have new insight, new awareness to my body and what my body needs to perform best. So, for example, my body needs hydration, not just water. And for me, I thought that was one in the same. But I was an avid water drinker, but I was thirsty all the time. So that was one change. Another change is noticing where I changed my protein sources and the importance of getting more protein into my diet and regulating that so that I'm able to build up more muscle. And once you're past a certain age, and especially as a woman, also with hormonal changes, it can become really difficult, more challenging to develop and build muscle. And our muscle growth can go so much slower than at other stages or for a man in comparison. And so it's important that we put those proper fuel sources into our body to get what we need. So I noticed when I was adjusting my protein and doing weight training with that, like the weight training is, yes, what you think to build muscle, but then I need to give it the proper protein, the proper fuel to do that so that my body has the nutrients to convert the work that I'm doing into muscle. All that played together. So I share all of this just to help you to pay attention to what it is that you're eating. Pick a plan, a choice, an option that serves you, and pick food sources that delight you, that serve you, that benefit you, not just in the fuel that they do, but in the satisfaction that you get. Because, friend, you've got to eat. You have to eat. So let's put in stuff that we can delight in. Some people will eat really bland, basic, boring foods day after day, and it's so hard. Could you train yourself to stay there? Yes. And I've done it for periods of time, or I've eaten things that it's like, why? But it's like, we don't have to torture ourselves to get the result that we want. And that's the bottom line that I wanted to share with you. That's the thought that I want to leave you with, to challenge you so that you can start to look at it less as restriction and more, what can I modify? What can I adjust? What can I add in? Because for me, there was a lot of adding in. I was in too much of a calorie deficit, and I was eating when I was eating what I thought was good, there were things that I needed to tweak and modify to improve. And so I still got to enjoy a lot of the same things, but I just adjusted it. For example, I was putting cheese on my salads because I was told to get more fat in my diet. But I didn't know because I'd never sat there and measured the cheese. In my brain, I was like, oh yeah, this is probably a half a cup. And well, first of all, I didn't know that half a cup of Mexican cheese blend was so many calories. I also had no realization of actually how much half a cup is. So just be encouraged to listen into your body. I'm going to start a series here. This is the first one to kick things off, about listening to your body and understanding what you're eating, the nutrition intake that you're getting, because I'm learning so much. And as I do with so many things, I share it here and give you insight to my journey. I am not a nutritionist, a doctor, or anybody qualified in any of those respects. I'm simply sharing what I am doing, how it's working for me, and just sharing it in a way to challenge you and to provoke you to consider if this could work for you. Do you want to explore it? Do you want to give it a try? With all of that in mind, this is the end of part one. And in the next one, I want to have a conversation with you about what you're adding into your diet rather than just looking at things as what you're taking away and the sacrifices that you have to make. If it's less of a sacrifice, we can stick with it for longer. Happy bouncing, friend.